All right.
Yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the #1 rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco. And Tony.
Yo.
Very important show today.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're going to address the blowback to our Hulk Hogan take. And we're going to do something historic. We are going to defend LeBron James on this show. Never been done before, but, had to be done. But first, the WNBA facing a crisis. Players under attack from flying dildos being hurled at the court. And, well, Tony, unlike other people out there, we don't just complain, bitch and moan. No. We have solutions on how to fix it.
do something about it.
Exactly. We're going to give them all to you. Dig into it all today in our special report, WNBA Under Fire from Dildos.
Special report, WNBA Under Fire from Dildos.
But just quick, as we told you last week, we hadn't been having guests on the show, because they suck.
Yeah,
well, people, they've been complaining. Well, why haven't you had guests? Well, we came out last week and we launched a month-long series of guests called August.
Yup.
Yeah, but then we showed up today and not only had our useless producer not booked a guest, he didn't even show up. Look, empty chair there.
Yeah, but, on the bright side, hopefully he's dead.
Yeah, we can only hope, Tony. And
exactly.
By the way, if you're wondering where these perfect sound effects are coming from without our useless producer doing them, well, guess what? I'm managing the board today.
Yeah, way better.
Exactly. So, like, if we talk about, how our producer does at his job, watch this. Oh, there you go.
Or what happens when our producer pulls down his pants.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
By the way, talking about useless producer, don't be useless like him, okay?
Yeah.
You get to work. You rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. You hit like, you hit subscribe, and also you don't walk away from the show while it's playing.
No.
You sit there and you get our YouTube watch time up and you finish it, okay?
Yeah, you out there. You got nothing better to do. Be honest with yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's not let our producer derail the show. He's derailing it even though he's not even here. That's how bad he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. It's time right now to begin our special report. Oh, Tony, I forgot. I gotta hit the button. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
WNBA
there it is.
Under Fire from Dildos.
Say, don't even need a producer.
No, we don't need him.
Anyway, all right, WNBA, in crisis, a dildo hurled at the court in the Fever Sparks game, the third time this has happened. Players under attack, fearing for their safety from flying sex toys. Now, people are saying they've never seen anything like this before. Now, hold on, we got to set the record straight there.
Yeah.
Remind the audience. This isn't the first time this has happened in basketball. In fact, it's not even the worst, right, Tony?
No, we all remember the last time something like this happened.
Yep.
In the 1960s, Wilt Chamberlain would go to NBA games and throw his actual penis on the court. People still wonder how someone could ever score 100 points in a game. Well, that was because the other players wouldn't get within 2 feet of Wilt Chamberlain. Well, I heard it was more like 17 inches, but, I'm just saying, it could be much worse.
Just great historical perspective there, Tony. And we don't want to underplay what is happening here.
No.
I mean, our audience knows if there's one thing we're about on this show, Tony, it's protecting women. There you go. And we say that clearly changes have to happen here right now.
Well, first, it's clear that we need to start running background checks on anyone who purchases a dildo.
Yep.
I mean, can anyone really just go into a store and buy a dildo off the shelf? I'm legitimately asking because I've never bought a dildo, nor would I ever, just to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea.
I don't know.
But, we got to protect people. And this is the only way. I mean,
absolutely.
When you think about it, banning dildos, well, that's just a start. I mean, if we want to ensure public safety, well, we got to ban all penis-shaped objects.
Absolutely.
I mean, hot dogs, gone. Popsicles,
gone.
Baguettes.
Yup.
Exactly. All of it's got to go.
They all got to go.
I mean, unfortunately, this is the price people have to pay for such classless behavior, right, Tony?
People say Eagles fans are bad, but we would never do anything like throw a dildo on a court. Sure, we might throw soiled underwear or raw sewage or, red meat tainted with E. coli, or, you know, a mix of rat and cat feces laced with Tabasco sauce, you know. But dildos? That's disgusting and classless.
Yes, we would never do anything like that.
Although,
and, you know, frankly,
wait,
well,
you know,
what, Tony?
You know,
what?
I am remembering, and this is embarrassing, but about 20 years ago, I did go to a Pat Benatar concert, and when she sang "Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Fire Away," I did attempt to throw a dildo at her face, and but you know, due to the boomerang curvature and the balls in the back, it was very hard to aim, and I wound up hitting and severely injuring a 78-year-old retired school teacher in the front row, and she suffered permanent and irreversible brain damage. But you know, that just goes to show how dangerous dildos really are.
That just goes to show how dangerous dildos are.
Right there.
You know, it's a terrific lesson that, Tony, you should not feel ashamed at all. You're educating the people.
I agree.
And, you know, by the way, we got to say it, you know, we're not saying banning dildos there is the solution. In fact, it's the first step.
Exactly.
Really, what we got to do is get all these dangerous dildos off the streets, right?
100%.
And that's why, you know, me and Tony, we're doing something. You know how the police, you know, they do those drop-offs for guns where you bring a gun and you get like a gift certificate to Denny's or something. Well, we're doing the same thing here, Tony. For the good and safety of all society, we are launching Paulie and Tony's dildo drop-off, right? So all you got to do, ladies, this is how it works. You just come by this address, okay? 3894 Spruce Street between the hours of 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. You bring your dildos, you drop them off, and we'll also invite you in, you know, for some light snacks, some drinks, you know, some music. We'll have some of our friends there, and you know, before you know it, you won't even miss your dildo at all.
And you know, this is just so important and so good for the betterment of our society.
Absolutely, just must be done. And you know, frankly, it's our pleasure to do this for the people. And you know, just to be clear, we're not stopping there, are we, Tony? You know, in fact, this morning, Tony, you recorded a PSA.
I did.
And for those, you know, lay people, that's a public service announcement. Okay.
Write that down.
Yeah, this PSA is going to run across all the networks, radio stations, you know, and on the TV, especially Saturday mornings during the cartoons. So, you know, the kids can see it and they can learn. In fact, Tony, we're going to premiere this PSA right on the show right now. So here we go. I'm going to roll this very important PSA.
Hey, it's me, your friend, TV and radio star Tony Fusco. Are your friends trying to get you to go to a WNBA game so you can throw a dildo on the court because they think it would be funny? Well, all I have to say to you is don't.
Wow. Just so powerful, Tony. It's so powerful.
Thank
you know,
you.
if that doesn't lead to change, I don't know what will.
Exactly. I don't know what will either.
Thank you on behalf of all of us. And
you're welcome.
You know, later in the show, that's not all we're doing. Later in the show, we're going to be taking this movement to the streets. We're going to be calling one of the top dildo supply companies to see if they're instituting background checks here to stop this problem, you know, where it starts. That's coming up soon, you know, so stay tuned. So, you know, so we could all solve this problem together. And also get our YouTube watch time up.
Exactly.
You don't have anything better to do. Anyway, let's get to other topics, because there are other equally important topics we do have to discuss here, Tony. First, you know, blowback to President Trump, right? You know, after he named former Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor to his youth sports council, despite, you know, Taylor's controversial history. But Tony, LT was clearly the right choice for this council, wasn't he?
100%. You know, I once personally saw Lawrence Taylor coach a bunch of 15-year-old high school football players, and he knew all the right questions to ask. He asked them if they were ready to commit to football, if they're man enough to take a hit, if they have any Polaroids of their girlfriends. Well, you know, most of the questions were good, so...
Well, you know, he got 2 out of 3, so, you know, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Passing grade.
Of course.
Anyway, while we're talking about blowback, we got to talk about the blowback to us. You know, of course, we're talking about how, you know, we received a lot of complaints from people, morons,
dummies,
you know, about our take on Hulk Hogan a couple weeks ago, you know. After we heard he died, you know, like most people, we naturally, you know, wondered if he was really dead or if he was going to, you know, come back from the dead at SummerSlam. And well, you know, people, they said this was, you know, rude, disrespectful.
Oh, please.
But, and, you know, this week, all right, we did see Hulk's memorial service and funeral. So I guess, Tony, what do you have to say now?
You know, from everything I've heard, it was a truly touching memorial service, you know. And yes, I'm now fully convinced that Hulk Hogan is not coming back until WrestleMania 2026. I'm pre-ordering the pay-per-view right now.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So exciting. Before we move on, we do have to get to some NBA news too. Inferior sports talk show host Dan Patrick. He came on the air the other day and bashed Bronny James because Bronny did not attend the press conference where the Lakers announced that Luka Doncic had been signed to an extension. Now, Bronny was actually out playing golf with his father during the presser, and well, Tony, Dan Patrick is clearly in the wrong here, isn't he?
Of course. LeBron and Bronny need to stay focused on winning a championship.
Yep.
But they're not going to win one with the Lakers. No. Their best shot of winning a title is clearly at a father-son celebrity golf tournament. And they need to be focused on that.
Great point, Tony. And, talking about focus, well, we don't want to lose focus on the most important topic of today, which, of course, is flying dildos hitting WNBA players and threatening their lives. So we are going to dig into that after the break. But first, got to get this in. It's time for a word from our sponsor, our good friends at Fresh Clean Threads. We all know the worst part about having clothing. Laundry. There you go. Yep. Well, what if you never had to do laundry again? Well, there's one simple way. Buy more shirts. There you go. That's why you got to hit up our sponsor, Fresh Clean Threads. Isn't that right, Tony?
I haven't done my laundry in 2 years, and that's all because I bought 800 shirts from Fresh Clean Threads.
Yep.
This shirt is comfortable, looks great, feels soft, and best of all, I'm saving money by not having to buy laundry detergent.
Yep.
I don't even know how to use a laundry machine.
Yep.
Thank you, Fresh Clean Threads.
All you got to do is go online right now to freshcleanthreads.com and buy thousands of shirts.
Yep.
And if you're worried about the price, don't worry, we got you covered. As a special bonus to you, enter the promo code Fusco15 and you'll get 15% off your entire order. So let's say you spend $5,000. Well, you're going to get whatever 15% of that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
All right, anyway, go to freshcleanthreads.com right now. Enter the promo code Fusco15 and get 15% off your entire order.
You're welcome.
All right, we're back from break. And we're going to get back into our special report that we're doing today.
Yeah.
WNBA under fire from dildos.
Special report. WNBA under fire from dildos.
All right. Well, at the top of the show, we discussed the obvious solution here. With all these dildos being dangerously hurled at WNBA players, the only solution is we got to ban these dildos from the stadium. But that's not all we got to do, Tony, because, what you got to do with this case is you got to stop the dildo at the point of sale.
Absolutely.
Right? We got to institute background checks. We just can't be handing out dildos to everybody. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to the streets. We're going to get one of the top dildo suppliers on the phone. Of course, I'm talking about the company Adam and Eve. And we're going to see what they're doing to stop this dildo throwing epidemic. Okay, Tony, so you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to take this to the streets. I got the number right here. Hold on one moment.
Let's do it.
Thank you for calling Adam and Eve. To continue in Spanish, press 1.
Oh.
No.
I don't even know the Spanish word for dildo, so no.
Maybe it's like El Dildo.
To speak with someone to place a new order, or if you simply have questions about our products, please press 1.
Yep.
To speak with someone about an
Yeah, I can see
there you go.
cables. Oh.
associates are currently assisting other clients.
Oh.
Uh-oh. You know what? That's scary, Tony. People buying dildos left and right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco on the line. Yeah, I had a question for you. You sell dildos at your company, right?
We do sell dildos.
Have you seen what's going on at these WNBA games with players they're under attack?
Yeah,
No. Okay, stay with me. Okay, so are you trying to place an order, or you just want to talk about?
I'm asking you what your company's doing to keep these dildo attacks, from happening. Are you instituting background checks, or are you just letting anybody come off the street and buy a dildo?
I'm gonna let you speak to my supervisor because you asking a whole bunch of questions I have no idea about. Okay, hold on.
Oh, and that's the problem.
Yep,
We got into
that's a big
we're asking the
problem
right
right there.
questions, Tony.
Yeah, we are. See? We're getting somewhere. We're working our way up the chain.
Yep. I'm glad she's taking this so seriously, though. She's good at her job. She understood. She
did a good
urgency.
job. She didn't even try to gatekeep. She just passed this along.
Here we go.
Thanks for holding this. Supervisor Jeff, how may I help you?
Yeah, Paulie Fusco here. I was speaking to one of your people there. I had a question. You sell dildos at your company, correct?
Yes, sir. That's what we do.
Are you aware what's going on at these WNBA games with dildos being dangerously thrown at these players, attempting to kill them? What is your company doing to stop this epidemic of dildo throwing?
Yeah. Good question.
We have no control over that, sir.
Well, hold on. Can't you institute background checks, before you sell a dildo to somebody?
No, we don't do that.
We know you don't do that.
Well, don't you want to ask them, hey, what are you going to do with this dildo? Where are you going to put it? In between your legs or on an NBA court, WNBA court? Don't you want to know? You're the supplier.
Sir, that's not our responsibility.
Well, I hope if one of these players gets injured and takes a dildo to the face, that's on you.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day. Not our
That was
responsibility.
absolutely disgusting.
Disgusting.
Not our responsibility.
You see that?
This is the problem with our society, Tony.
Yeah.
Lack
What
of
happened?
accountability.
What happened to this country?
I hope that we don't see a WNBA player die on the court.
Oh, my God.
Because they took a dildo to the face.
Because they didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Tony, we did our job today. Unlike our producer back there, who didn't even bother
He's
showing
not even
up.
here.
And just to show you people, we didn't even need a guest, okay?
It was
Show
perfect.
was perfect.
Exactly.
Tony, it just hit me. Maybe our producer isn't here because he's one of the guys who got arrested for throwing a dildo.
That's right.
At WNBA. I mean, if anyone has dildos
It's
sitting
him.
around his house, it's probably him.
Yeah, exactly. And his mom. Exactly.
Yeah, well, of course, you'd know that, Tony, because, you've been over
of
in
course.
that bedroom
I've been in her
many
bedroom
times,
many
of course.
times. Yup.
And something you know and I know is what makes a great guest on this show? We know Super Bowl heroes, Eagles legends. And guess what? We
Yup.
just booked one for next week. Yup, August is back. Nick Foles
Wow,
will be here.
huge.
Hey, don't forget, where's the music? Oh, the music, Tony. He's not here to do the music. Hold on, there we go.
Okay.
Hold on. Fire
All
off
right.
the,
Yeah, let me
the
see.
theme music. Boom. There you go.
There
All right,
it
now we
is.
can do it. Okay.
Perfect.
You
Even
rate and
better.
review on the Apple Podcast,
Yeah.
right? You like and subscribe. And I know you're watching this because, we got to get that watch time
Yup.
up. We told you to
Yup.
do it, so you didn't go
Exactly.
anywhere. You got nothing better to do.
Yeah, like
and
all
you
the
visit our
clips.
sponsor, FreshCleanThreads.com.
Promo code.
You get that 15% off with the promo code FUSCO15.
Yeah.
And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
Oh, wait, I got to hit the end screen, too. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. End screen. All right, there you go. We'll see
There it
people
is.
next week.
See ya.